Many thanks for joining us here on News Today to our very first story this afternoon. And the Gender Ministry is mobilizing support for the revised interstate bill as it marks International Women's Day today. Now, today, the ministry is hosting a dialogue as it reflects on the 30th anniversary of the passing of the Interstate Succession Law, also known as the PNDC Law 111. But ahead of that, Joy News editor Jifa Bampo has been reflecting on the current law and why there's the need for a new one.
Women continue to contribute to social, economic, cultural, and political achievements. Though much progress has been made to put more women in the public space, the World Economic Forum points to slowed progress towards achieving gender parity, hence the theme, Pledge for Parity. In Ghana, the Gender Ministry is using the International Women's Day to reflect on 30 years of the Interstate Succession Law, popularly known as PNDC Law 111.
They locked their house for close to 2-3 years. We had to be chasing them to ask when are they coming to, hand over the house, because they had locked the master bedroom and they had the keys to it. So we had to be chasing them, when are they coming, and they kept telling us stories that the elders had washed their hands over us, and because of that, there's really nothing to do. But finally, for some reason, I don't know, they finally came and then they handed over the house to us.
For the purpose of this report, I introduce you to a woman I choose to call Jennifer. She recounts the harrowing experience of the fight for her father's property. With an older brother, she was a minor when her dad died 5 years ago. Her father died intestate, meaning without a will, opening up the space for property grabbing. Private legal practitioner Sheila Minka-Premo says widespread discrimination justifies the need for the law.
I think that it's a very outstanding law, and it has done a lot, particularly to protect the rights of women and children whose father or spouse dies intestate. In Ghana, people are either from a matrilineal or patrilineal system or lineage system. And the rules that apply depended on the personal law of a person. It depended on whether you are the religion, whether you are a Christian or a Muslim. And then it also depended on the type of marriage that you had. And, each of the systems sort of discriminated a bit against women. The matrilineal system in particular was very harrowing. For the patrilineal system, properties are usually inherited by children of a deceased. So, of course, when the children inherit, maybe their mothers can also enjoy. The only problem is if you don't have a child, then there was a big problem.
From time immemorial, countless Ghanaian women and children were left destitute.
My mom was divorced. It was exactly a year after the divorce. Dad unfortunately passed away. So they couldn't come to her straight. But then they insisted that since she was divorced, she didn't have to partake in any of the properties. So it was just left with my brother and myself to face the world.
Woman, I see a woman. Every day in the mirror, I see a woman.
Former Justice of the International Criminal Court and Professor of Law, Ekuya Kwenyehia, gives this throwback on how the law came to pass.
The law came into being at a time when I think it was the second World Conference on Women coming on in Nairobi, 1985, where every country was going to give an account of how they treat their women. And intestate succession law, customary intestate succession law, had created a lot of hardships. I am not sure that those hardships have disappeared now. Even though customary law claims to have to take responsibility for children and even the widow, in reality, it didn't happen. When the person died, the family came in, took over everything. If you were lucky, you were allowed to stay in the house. If you were not, you were thrown out with your children. There had been debate on and off about, let's do something about this because it's really not good enough.
Was there, say, a mass movement demanding this?
I don't remember a mass movement. I may be wrong, but I don't remember a mass movement. But I do remember various fora discussion on some of the hardships. The PNDC then, of course, the world was going to Nairobi, and there was going to be an assessment of the rights of women and how each country was progressing. And so we.
Now, more than 1,000 people in the Central region last week benefited from a free screening exercise by the multimedia group. Natives, mostly from Breman and Mori in the Central region, were taken through the exercise to, among others, help them know their diabetes status. Now, persons who were in need of immediate healthcare treatment were rushed to the Cape Coast Teaching Hospital. Derek Eko Sam was with the team in Cape Coast and has come through with this report.
Diabetes, a condition where high blood sugar levels persist over a prolonged period, is a condition many grapple with, especially in advanced stages of life. Despite the risk associated with the disease, not many, particularly the illiterate in society, attach the needed importance to its prevention and treatment. The Sugar Project, a multimedia group initiative, has over the past year made consistent efforts at sensitizing Ghanaians on the subject and continued with a road trip to Cape Coast. Residents of Breman and Mori in the Central region, most of whom were unaware of their sugar levels, trooped to the centers to access free screening and counseling. 5 people were rushed in a waiting ambulance to the region's teaching hospital when the doctor on duty, Nanama Banch, realized their sugar levels meant they required immediate attention. Dr. Barnes explains diabetes can be managed if diagnosed early. She advised diabetics to take their drugs on a daily basis and also exercise regularly.
Anything which is going to take your life, you should be afraid of it. So that when you don't know how to manage it, but once you can manage it, you're fine. Because if it causes you a stroke, it gives you blindness, it causes ulcers which don't heal, it causes kidney failure. These are things you should guard against. So you have to take very good care of yourself.
And I know if you are in that condition, there are certain types of food you need to avoid, and there are the others that keep you going. Let's talk about them.
So diet is very important to the management of diabetes. We always say that you can eat anything you want except sugar itself, and then eating the right things in the right proportion. So you can eat anything you want, but the proportion should be what you think about. So carbohydrates tend to sugar. So you wouldn't want to have a meal consistent of only carbohydrates in our diet. You say, I'm eating it. What do you go and eat? I want to eat kenke. I want to eat rice. No, you should have more proportion of vegetables than of, the carbohydrate.
Who don't take vegetables at all, are they prone to getting diabetes?
Am I talking to you? Well, diet plays a role in getting diabetes. That's a type 2 diabetes. It's diet, lack of exercise, they play a role. So it's not just not eating vegetables, it's healthy, unhealthy diets.
Is it only about sugar?
If it were all about sugar, it would be very easy. You cut out sugar and you are done. But it's all to do with more of carbohydrates. And carbohydrates are found in everything that we eat.
In our part of the world, carbohydrates play a major role in what we take. Kinke, fufu, rice, all of that carbohydrates. Is there anything we can do about it?
So there's a lot we can do about it. It's all to do with portion control. There's something called the plate model, where you eat your food according to proportions. So your fufu ideally should be the size of your fist.
Oh, really?
You're not happy about it, but that is the size. Everybody, so when you do your fist, that is the size of your fufu you should eat. And you should add it with the soup. So the soup should be a lot. And then the meat is fine, but just cut down the oily parts of the meat.
Host of the Super Morning Show, Kojo Yankson tells Joy.
We'll bring you that full report in our later bulletins, but let's head to Parliament, and where we are told that the House is today considering the Presidential Transition Amendment Bill. Now, the bill is intended to regulate handing over issues after the presidential election slated for November 7 this year. Elton Bobe is a parliamentary correspondent and is joining me on phone now with a lot more. So, Elton, tell us much more about the arguments that have been going on for and against this particular motion currently before the House.
Well, for now, we are yet to get to that stage. The first reading is basically about the presentation of the intent of government to Parliament. So details are not, included when the bill is first taken to the first reading. So the long title was read. This is the intention of government. And so in the days to follow, the expectation is that the other details will come before Parliament so that the legal constitutional committee that this bill has been referred to will have the opportunity to now go and then study the details and then report back to Parliament for the consideration of the House, and that can take at least a week. So for now, it's only the long title that has been read. The intention of government has been read to members of Parliament. Bill has been referred to the Legal and Constitutional Committee of Parliament. Remember, this is just an amendment to an existing, bill on the presidential transition. And this is basically because, you are aware the Electoral Commission is proposing to hold this year's presidential and parliamentary elections in November instead of December. Mm-hmm. And that particular bill is also on its way to Parliament to amend the constitutional provision. And because it's not an entrenched position, this will go through the normal 21 days maturation period for it to be passed into law. For that reason, there will be the need for Parliament to amend the existing Presidential Transition Act to include the fact that elections will no longer be held in December, rather in November. So I can fix a definite date for the transition to interstates, consider handing over notes, and then report to the incoming, president and the government. So we are waiting the full details from government to the Legal and Constitutional Committee, who will now study and bring the report back to Parliament for consideration.
Elton, many thanks for that update. And that was Parliamentary Correspondent Elton Brobe joining us with that update from Parliament. Now, let's move to some more stories now. And workers at the Information Services Department are reportedly angry over suggestions they are responsible for the error-riddled 59th Independence Day celebration brochure. Now, the workers have discounted the suggestions, saying they did not in any way contribute to the erroneous content in the brochure. They add that they are being made to take the blame for someone's wrongs, a situation they will not tolerate, adding that they had no hand in the compilation and printing of the controversial brochure. Joining us is Manasseh Azuriah, is currently at the Information Services Department and is joining me on phone now with the very latest. Manasseh, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. Now, what's the situation at the Information Services Department as we speak? I'm sure you've been interacting with quite a number of the staff there. What have they been telling you?
As we speak now, they are waiting to meet the director of the ISD and some management members who are currently locked up in a meeting upstairs. Their main concern here is that they know nothing about this 59th Independence Anniversary brochure. What they are saying is that every year they do it, and they do it without mistake. They have a template, and according to the workers here, if somebody even writes, you have not less than 3 people to look at it before it goes into print. So they don't know why this year it wasn't given to them and why their director would want to accept responsibility for something they know nothing about. And I've interacted with workers from the various departments, including the printing and publishing unit. And all of them say they have no idea where this particular work was done and find it very difficult to accept responsibility for the errors.
So let me ask, who do they blame then, or where do they think this particular thing came from? If they did not print it, who else could have printed it?
They're reluctant to mention names, but they point to, off record, they point to the presidency, and they even say the apology that was rendered. If you look at the letterhead, that is not the official letterhead of the Information Services Department. And I requested a copy of their letterhead, and I've been given one, the official letterhead here, and it is so different from the letterhead on which the apology was rendered. So they are saying everything that is happening, they know nothing about it. It seems someone somewhere has taken the contract and done a shoddy work, and they would have to face the blame and the shame for whatever mess someone else created, and that's what they don't want to accept, and they want explanation from the director why he will take responsibility for such work.
You did mention to us earlier that the director was in a meeting with quite a number of people a while ago. Do we know who exactly he's in this meeting with and what probably they are discussing?
Some heads of departments, and they are discussing this particular issue. They want to know who did the work and why he apologized. And all that they want, the information should go out that they know nothing about it, because they say they've been embarrassed by the news, and their relatives, their friends are all calling and insulting them. And when they listen to mainstream media and monitor social media, they cannot just accept the blame.
Manasseh Azuri, many thanks for that update. And that was Manasseh, my colleague Manasseh Azuri, who was reporting from the Information Services Department there. Well, the workers he's been interacting with are suggesting that indeed they had no hand in that particular brochure that was printed and distributed over on Sunday, that Independence Day celebration brochure. Let's take a listen to one of the workers Manasseh Azuri has been speaking to.
The brochures and the leaflets for the Independence Anniversary event. But I can tell you what I know. ISD was not involved in the printing. We don't know anything about it. We don't know how it was printed. No professional from ISD.
And indeed, that was a staff of the Information Services Department there in an interaction with my colleague Manasseh Azuri Awene. Do stay tuned. We'll be keeping our eyes on that particular meeting we are told is ongoing. We'll be bringing you a lot more on that at 3 p.m. when we join you with the Pulse. We're taking a break here on News Today. We'll return shortly with some more. Don't go away. Thanks for staying with us here on News Today. Now, it's been a long-drawn battle between nomadic Fulani herdsmen and indigents, not only in Agogo in the Ashanti region, but their front plains in the eastern region as well. Now, the age-old feud has resulted in the death of both humans and cattle. John News' Kwetinate goes to the front line of this standoff and discovers how large swathes of land have been reduced to fields of trash. An opinion leader who also happens to be a victim has been telling Kwetinate more about the menace in the front plains.
Okay, with these Fulani herdsmen, you see, they are, with my engagement with them, what I've seen is they operate in secrecy. You don't know when they will come into your land. So even you can't engage him to tell him that I've got a mango plantation here, I've got yam here, I've got what here or that. But the only thing you see that before you wake up in the morning, yes, they've gone to your field just to destroy whatever is on it. I am in over 2,000 acres land. I haven't developed all. Excuse me to say, I don't eat grass. But they should approach us so that we engage them and tell them where to pass and where not to pass.
Have you personally suffered this accusations that Fulani people have destroyed people's farmlands? Have your farmland been destroyed by the Fulanis before?
Yes, I was having a yam farm just on my right hand here. And after I put in the yam, I have to store it to prepare it for the next planting. So whilst we have stored it, one morning when I went there, I saw that, yes, I did destroy some of the yam.
What is the scale of destruction when you speak to other farmers in this community?
Okay, at my place here, I am a large-scale farmer, but I heard there are villages over there. When I detected their movement here, I tried to scare them off. Yes, for that I did it, because the Constitution mandates me to protect my property. So I scared them off. But after they've left here to far away, the villagers came to inform me. And they are small. Yes, the principal thing is their source of drinking water. Because all cattle by this time are after water. Even not the grass that they will eat, but water. So basically what the small communities live on, the cow also, as it is thirsty, yes, it will take whatever water, whether the water is for human consumption or whatever it is, they don't care.
So how do you feel about the seemingly destruction by the heads of these Fulani herdsmen and the report you've been hearing about them? How do you feel about it?
With my engagement And my feeling with them, I think we have to have a second look at the whole thing, because they after water. Wherever the water is, there's a big river about 2 miles away from here. Yes, the river Obosom. That is where all of them has converged. If you sack them or you shoot whatever anymore, it seems, yeah, you move them from here, then they go to the other end by the river valley. Yes, they don't want to leave the water. So they don't care whether about 10 or 20 anymore will die from military operation or whatever it is. I call in the military and the police. They came here once. When they left, the forest and the police also has been here, but they are still there. Yes. Yeah, they can't move them. They will never move them.
Do you get a sense that these Fulani people are a nuisance here?
Well, I would say they are nuisance, but there is an institutional failure concerning these Fulani people. You see, the cattle they are having now, they are not Ghana cattle. Formerly, when you see the cattle from Ghana, we have got this in Dama, these short horns and other things. But if you have, you see that they are this Sokoto and this long horn.
To some politics now, the New Patriotic Party has set Sunday, March 13, as the day to hold its parliamentary primary in the Menchia North constituency in the Ashanti region. This follows the successful election of polling station executives last week. The election of polling stations executives was postponed several times because the incumbent MP Collins Owusu-Amankwah and his only competitor, Nanose Bamfo, questioned the credibility of the register, claiming, among others, that it was bloated. The incumbent MP Collins Owusu-Amankwah and his competitor Nanose Bamfo were claiming alleged irregularities, insisting that the document was bloated. A committee has meanwhile been set up to oversee the smooth conduct of the election. The Menchia North constituency is the only constituency in the Ashanti region yet to elect a parliamentary candidate for the party. And still with politics, and the race for who represents constituents of Klote-Korle in the Greater Accra region gets keener as the days go by. The constituency has over the past year courted controversy from the two major political parties, with discontent among a section of supporters for both parties as to who is the best candidate to represent the respective parties. Now already, the candidature of the NDC's representative for the area, Dr. Zaneto Rawlings, is being contested by incumbent Niyama Ashite, while the NPP's Ninoy Norte, winner of last year's primaries, threatening to go independent after losing his candidature to a rerun by the party last month. Now, as if that was not enough, residents may now have a much tougher time determining who to vote for on election day, as former Director General of the GBC and running mate of the PPP in the last general elections, Eva Loko, is said to have announced her decision to contest that particular seat. We'll be bringing a lot more subsequently. But time now for us to take a break here on News Today. We'll bring you business after the break. And it's now time for business, and some telecom companies are now joining hands with commercial banks to promote the culture of savings by roping more of the unbanked into the banking population. This is through the promotion of mobile money usage among the unbanked population. MTN Ghana and Access Bank have in this light held a mobile money accessibility program at the Medina market to register head porters for mobile financial services. MTN's mobile money implementation manager, Eric Yeboesiama, told Joy Business the initiative is to encourage the culture of savings among the head porters.
We started this project Kaya from our Blosi, where 120 Kayayes were engaged, and then the purpose was to take them through the importance of savings. And we believe that with mobile money is one of the best ways that people can save conveniently. We just want to create that culture of saving through mobile money so that their livelihood can be better. By end of year, we hope to get at least 5,000 on Kayaye registered and consciously saving through mobile money so that they can have a better livelihood.
And the Financial Inclusion Survey by the World Bank's think tank consultative group to assist the poor, CCAP, indicates that the proportion of unbanked has now reduced by half. This, it says, was driven primarily by the thriving mobile money service, which currently has 4.4 million active accounts. And the competition in the 4G internet service space is driving operators to do more to satisfy customers. The latest entrant, Busy, has in this light opened an ultra-modern sales and service experience center at the Ring Road Central here in Accra.
The new Experience Center, located within the company's refurbished building, is equipped with the latest technology to give customers superior 4G experience and customer support. The facility has a special area where customers can explore Busy's range of 4G data products and services.
It takes up to about 11 to 14, and so businesses, small business of about 5 to 10 employees can use. However, I will recommend the indoor router, which takes up to about 30 people. And so you buy for the business and you can connect to your staff. Additionally, a business can also get what we call shared data. And so you can buy and give internet access to your people. So in terms of our speed and our coverage plus affordability, you can do everything you need to do. You can Skype, you can run your conference call. So you didn't need to travel all the way to, let's say, China to meet with your business partners. Within the comfort of your home or in your office, you can do that. We are bringing the world closer to you wherever you are.
Opening the facility, the president of the Association of Ghana Industries, James Asari J., lauded Busy Ghana for its pioneering role and high standards in internet services in the country.
Yes, technology is very important to businesses. And, in this age of globalization, businesses run effectively when you have efficient technology and then you are abreast with that level of technological infrastructure. What we are seeing here today with the relaunch or rebranding of Busy, it gives a good opportunity for businesses, especially members of AGI, to tap into this ICT innovation, to reinvigorate their businesses.
The official opening of the Experience Center is part of the launch of Busy's retail network across Accra and Tema.
And that will be it for business. But for more, you can join me exactly 1 to 1:30 on the marketplace. And you can equally log on to myjohnonline.com/business. My name is John Kojo Amwako.
And that's how we wrap up on News Today this afternoon here on the Joy News channel on Multi TV. My name is Kwabena Chenchen Heneboati. Remember, there's a lot more news when you visit myjohnonline.com. John Omoko is standing by with the marketplace. Many thanks for your company.